Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my Author's Answer video for July 2024. The Author's Answer series was started by J.D. Archer and his writing group, where they kept a blog online for a long time. And then J.D. brought some of these questions over to AuthorTube as well onto his own channel. So I'll link all of that information down below. So they were asking themselves a variety of reading and writing questions, and I jumped on board several years ago now because I've been doing this and answering one question sequentially per month. And this month I am up to question number 88, which they call the ultimate question, which really is, in a way, maybe should have been the first question. It's the why do you write question. The impetus of it all. And I guess that in part for me relies on how far I go back, starting when I was writing as a young girl. I think primarily I was influenced to write the middle grade young adult stuff that I was reading and enjoying, mostly about girls around my age, maybe with a little bit of family and friend drama sprinkled on top. And then I did start inching a little into fantasy sometimes, including like my first novel, Captured by Fate, which was definitely, a St. George and the Dragon sort of retelling. And as an adult, with my first short story publications, it is somewhat the same. Well, for example, I had the story Quarter Life published in District Lines, and that was kind of me coming to terms a bit with an unrequited crush in college. Or in the Main Street Rag, I wrote Cliffs and Vistas, which also was about me coming to terms with some stuff from high school, and also ruminations on COVID and the realities of COVID, like in the immediate aftermath. Which, frankly, I think the quarantine and having that extra time could start my brain probably rolling too much in that direction anyway. Or sometimes I'd move on to actual current events, like in Fiction on the Web. I published a story, Lashon Hara, online, and that really was a reaction to a literary news story, The Bad Art Friend. So moving a little beyond personal experiences with that one, but I really do think it had me challenging some ideas of human behavior and what it means. Or sometimes it could be reactions to fictional media, like characters and such from movies. In Pen in Hand, I had a flash fiction published called Ashes Hayil, which I think for me was a retelling of the Jessica Chastain character in the Tree of Life movie. So I was very taken with that character and wanted to see if I could center things a little on her, hopefully in a very non-plagiarizing way. And then in this Days of Awe anthology, this is where I finally moved a little into the speculative. I wrote a post-apocalyptic story called Mishkan, and in large part this was a homage to Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which I've more or less been obsessed with ever since I read it, and I was able to put my own sort of Jewish twist on the ruminative post-apocalyptic story. And yeah, otherwise, a few years ago I finished writing and revising a 33,000, 35,000 literary novella, which in fact was based off of a Harry Potter role-playing game I was playing in, and yanking some of those characters out and changing them a little bit, putting them in new situations. All original characters, so that definitely is a little less plagiarizing. And my current huge project, about 100,000 words and climbing, is my fantasy novel. And I think for something this big, which I'm still wrapping my head around, it was a variety of different things, which I think I've talked about a little on this channel before, but I started with Sansa Stark, actually, and I kind of yanked her out. I wanted to tell things more from her perspective again, like I've done before. And then it grew from there. I added in some other fairy tales that I kind of wanted to put my own spin on, and they became thematic or subplot sort of stuff going on. From there, I really did my biggest deep dive into Jewish cultural questions and creating a secondary world where I could spin them in a different way. So certainly for this, my biggest, most complex project, it's like the biggest variety of things coming in. And I guess, I mean, maybe you could say that's more inspiration, but for me, I guess I could say about all of these is that I'm taking something that speaks to me, personally from my own past, or, more broadly in the world from media I consume, or cultural realities that I'm a part of, and trying to say, what do I think of this? What would my spin on this be about the types of characters I want to create, the types of plots I want to put them in, and the questions I want to ask? I think that's the driving impetus of why I write, is wanting to dive into those sorts of realities. And that about covers it for me now. Again, I will put information about J.D. Archer's Authors Answer Questions down below. I'll also link to information of all the published stories I mentioned down below if you'd like to learn more. And I'd love to hear why you write, if you partake in the craft. Sometimes I think it, can lean into the grandiose. I feel like I was getting there near the end, although it's also fun to hear more specific inspirations too, even story by story. And I hope to be back on this channel. Speaking of, short stories, this is my birthday month, so I do a couple of try a story tag videos, and my first one hopefully should be coming out pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Keep writing, and I'll see you next time.